As Western governments continue to push the creation of domestic supply chains of critical minerals closer to home, I'm joined with Defense Metals President Dr. Luisa Moreno to discuss the exciting developments of their rare earth deposit. Luisa, welcome.
Hi, Brandon. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on here. Now, you just had some very exciting news. I want to start off first by the news of Defense Metals shipping samples of mixed rare earth oxide and mixed rare earth carbonate to interested parties. Can you elaborate on this milestone for your company?
Oh, this is very, very important. So we completed the pilot plant of our hydrometallurgy process flow sheet. And we had also completed one for the flotation. And now with all the samples, we were ready to start working with potential end users. And we had engaged them. Many have reached out independently. And we managed to then prepare the samples and send it. So that's essentially what we have done after the pilot work. So it's very exciting. We look forward to qualifying our product. That is a very important stage as we develop and firm up really our flow sheet here as we advance the pre-feasibility study.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I'd like to talk a little bit more about that flotation, about the program that you're using earlier, or you just announced earlier. You just completed an extensive comminution and beneficiation test on variability samples from your Wicheeda Rare Earth deposit. You talked about them very briefly there. What are these tests for maybe someone who's never heard of them before, and why were their findings so significant?
It's extremely significant. So people usually don't think about the beneficiation as much, or even metallurgy, when you talk about gold or copper. But folks that have been following copper and are, for instance, aware of how it's processed, they would know that copper can be found at low concentrations as well, just like the rare earth, as low as 1%, as high as sometimes 3% or 4% in the DRC and other places. But one initial stage usually is the production of a high mineral copper concentrate, which varies anywhere from the low 20s to the low 30 in percentages of total copper. And so that is acceptable. Nobody would ever think, oh, we're going to be processing copper off the ground at 1%, because it just would not be economic. And so for the rare earth is a similar situation. If folks were to study the current producers of rare earth, they will see that they initially concentrate through beneficiation the mineral to upgrade their grades from 2, 3, 5, 8% in the case of Mountain Pass in the US to a higher mineral concentrate to improve the economics once it goes to the hydrometallurgy plant. So the significance of us being able to produce this high grade mineral concentrate is because in that sense, we are near at par with the current producers as far as improving our economics, as far as having that mineral concentrate. And compared to many other projects out there, that is a significant milestone.
Now, you also recently announced commencing your phase 2 infrastructure sonic. You've got open pit, geotechnical, and exploration target core drilling as well. How is all this work going, and what do you hope to achieve with these programs?
The geotechnical work is very important. So it gives us information about the potential when we basically build the open pit mine. What will be the integrity of that mine. So that is very important for safety. And you also help us understand the ground where tailings will be set up and plants. So it's very important. It's part of our pre-feasibility study. And as we advance for bankable, that information is going to be really critical.
Yeah, fantastic. And thank you once again. Now, talking about the market in itself, I know you were formerly an analyst in this space. What are your thoughts on your current market cap, but more specifically as well on the overall junior market as a whole?
Yes, I believe our market cap is quite low, as well as most junior mining companies. I mean, there's very good projects out there in the junior mining space, whether it's gold, lithium, graphite, and it is just such a great buying opportunity, you know. So I'm just looking at my own investments and see and think what I should sell in order to get into the junior market.
Mm.
And when you look at rare earth companies, Defense Metals is in very good, attractive level for investors to enter, or for those that are already in the stock to accumulate a little bit more, because it's really prices of the stocks for junior mining is really depressed. So in that sense, I think it's a great opportunity for investors.
Yeah, well said. And I'm right with you as well. I look at my portfolio and I think, man, there are some very, very good companies in here, but it's the market that we're given. But that also gives opportunity, just like you just said there. And speaking of opportunity and looking into the future, lastly, what should investors be excited about and looking forward to coming from your team as we round off the last calendar quarter of this year?
Right. So as I said, so we did all the drilling. So there shouldn't be any more drilling results. Our stock always performed very well with the drilling results because we have such large, deep intersections, a relatively high grade. But we're not going to be seeing that now because everything has been done and handed in to the engineers, SRK in this case, and they are doing all the modeling for the mine for the pre-feasibility study. So we might have some additional news on the metallurgy. So we might go back and do a few more fine-tuning tests that Hatch, the engineering firm looking after the metallurgy, they may request, and we may then update the market on some additional hydrometallurgy tests. As well as part of the pre-feasibility study is really our relationship with First Nations, which has been fantastic. So we should update the market further on that, and we will continue updating the market on the progress of our pre-feasibility study. But in terms of results, fortunately, we have gathered all the results that we need for the pre-feasibility study. But we will try and put some general updates to the market as we approach our internal deadline to complete the pre-feasibility study.
Perfect. And thank you once again for all of that information, and excited to hear as well. Well, Luisa, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you coming on here and speaking more about your company for both your current investors, but also new investors seeing this company for the first time or hearing it once again. For anybody who wants to find out more information, you can just go right down there. There's a link to your website. Luisa, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for having me. It was great talking to you.